Club Radio. Club Radio.
Check it out.
Drop it.
Can't stop, won't stop. Where the bricks at? I give him that diddy bop. Like take that, take that, take that, take that. I'ma put in work. I'ma do that ASAP. Throw my faith in rap. But they say don't say that, huh? What I'ma turn down for? I feel like Shaq in 9-4. Breaking glass in that backboard. I like Kobe and Toronto, huh? Dropping 81. Yo, I dropped the 88. Ricky Bobby, shake and bake. Sleeping on it, should've stayed awake, huh? Everybody make mistakes like VJs. Tryna say my name, it's Minio. Say it with me, Minio. Okay, great. 2 forks high, raise the stakes. Risk it all, I take the hate. This the winning team, get the Gatorade. My guy good, but he's not safe, nah. They try to shut us down and it ain't gon' slide. Only thing I fear is God and he on my side. That's the confidence I got, cause he got me. That's why I really feel like you can't stop me.
Hi, welcome to Club Light Radio's Inspiration Nation. I am your host, Aqueela Maddox, also known as the Inspirationalist. And I am the founder and owner of Belief LLC, where we aspire to inspire healthy growth in every aspect of your life. Here on Inspiration Nation, you'll receive productive information that promotes personal development, including a healthy mind, heart, and spirit, as well as professional development, which comes through career growth and business expansion, all done by empowering a healthy perspective. As you heard my intro song by Andy Mineo that says, "You can't stop me," that is literally like my theme song. So I thought it would be beneficial today to start off by inspiring you to be unstoppable. So let's talk about that a little bit. One of my favorite passages in my favorite book, also known as the Bible, is Philippians 4:13, which says that I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Let's talk about that and break that down a little bit. What does that look like? Well, I can do all things. Well, I know in real life we get tired. There's not enough time in the day. There's annoyances and irritations and all of these things that seem to affect even just the daily goals we set, let alone lifelong goals or 5-year goals or 10-year goals, right? Well, if I'm relying on my own strength, then of course I'm tired. Listen, I'm up some days at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I got a full day ahead of me from talking to people, inspiring individuals like yourself, and other things that come within that day, writing programs and media and social media and all these other things, right? Don't forget, I also have a family. So by the time the end of my day comes, I'm looking at it's 10 or 11 o'clock at night. I am pooped. I'm done. The strength that we were just talking about is gone. Zapped out. No more. I'm ready to literally count sheep in the slowest fashion ever so that I can rest and get prepared for the next day. Well, wait, there's more. So in order for me to still, even with being up that amount of time in the day, that's a long day, I must tell you, truth be told, that it's the spirit that lies within me that continues to propel me to press on, even though, because I'm serious, I was ready for nap time at like noon, right? Well, there was no nap, but I had to continue to press on. So what did I do? Really, I truthfully, honest and truthfully, I'm not even kidding. I know it sounds cliche-ish for me to actually say, okay, Lord, give me some more strength. That's what my prayers look like. They're real simple, practical. Me and the Lord got that kind of a relationship. You know what I'm saying? We here. We don't have to spend this whole long conversation saying, Lord, bring me this, give me this, and establishing this in me. I'm like, listen, Lord, I'm tired. You have created me to fulfill purpose, and I need for you to give me some strength and energy so that I can keep going. Why is God able to do that and I'm able to draw that for myself? That's a very good question. I'm glad you asked. So I imagine the Lord being like this river. Now, honest and truthfully, it's referred to, Jesus referred to as well, and God and Jesus are one. Need I say more? Well, anyhow, they are referred to as like living water, right? This well that never runs dry. Now, we take that well, right, because we don't deal with wells, but we are very familiar with rivers and lakes and things like that. So we're kind of correlated to that. imagine now this well just poured out. So it's AKA a river. So this river now is flowing, and you can imagine it flowing all around the world. That's never ending, more like the infinity sign. There's no beginning and there's no end. But no matter where you go, when you tap into that river, it's always going to be fresh and renewed, and it's going to be amazing and good and definitely refreshing. So I can go and refresh my strength from there, because it never runs out. It's always going to be, it's never going to be stagnant. It's always going to be flowing. So I go draw my strength from this place that never ends. My body, it gets tired, but the river that we talked about, right, of living waters that never fails, never runs dry, never ends. That's how we draw strength. So that's how it says that I can do all things through Christ, which gives me strength. I draw my strength from that, and now I've been able to literally become enabled to do everything that I've set my heart out to do. Now, within reason, of course. Okay? So, I myself enjoy many things in my life, from hiking to working out. I don't spend enough time there, but we'll talk about that later. But anywho, I enjoy being with my children. I enjoy talking to people, whether it's on or off the court, meaning whether I'm doing it for my business intentionally or just talking to somebody, just at the grocery store. Absolutely love and adore people. So I enjoy doing that. I like watching an occasional movie when I'm not sleepy, because otherwise it's a very expensive nap. And I also enjoy, shopping. I like catching deals. And even if it's just simply some time with my sisters or my family, my girlfriends, it's also another way that we can spend time together. I enjoy, getting a pedicure, having somebody give me a massage or whatever those things. I enjoy so many things in this life. But sometimes, like I said, our energy becomes zapped. I also enjoy, now this may shock you, but I also enjoy laying flooring. Yeah, I said it. So I do, absolutely. I believe I get it from my daddy, right? I love to be like a carpenter. I know you think I'm crazy, but I've actually laid a couple of flooring in my day. I absolutely enjoy it. I also have put up, walls. I know, right? Well, I've done that, but it's something that I enjoy. Something about doing things with our hands and creating and building. And so when you think about I can do all things, you are a creator. You were actually created by the best creator that ever exists. And then because you were made in the image of him, you have some of those same attributes that he possesses. So when it says, I can do all things, we're going to now focus on that portion. You have the ability to make something from nothing. Now, I know you're thinking, well, I may not always have the resources, or I may not always have the support. I may not always have, everything that I need in order for me to create. That's the beauty in it. You can literally speak and it becomes so. You can also think it, right? You think about that. You can do anything you put your mind to. It's the truth. And to me, there's some things, whether you believe in God or Jesus or not. You don't have to believe in Jesus and God to believe in gravity, but throw something off of a building and see it come and fall and crash into the ground. So some things to me, as I've learned, about the scriptures, whether you agree with the existence of Christ or not, there are some biblical principles that are literally just principles like gravity. Okay? So anything you put your mind to, you can do. That is applicable to anybody across the globe. If you begin to think about it hard enough, you'll begin to literally start to formulate an idea and all of these different plans in order to make that thing possible. Think about it. You want to go and be an accountant. Somewhere in your mind, you start to create the plan on how to get there. Nobody ever has to tell you, and nowadays with Google, which I call my new boo, because he knows a lot of stuff. Anywho, Google, you can go on there and you can literally question anything, and you can even find other people who've asked the question just as yourself. And they give answers to those things. There's information that comes up. And I'm going to tell you, Google's getting better by the day, because he used to come up with stuff in 0.9 seconds. Google is flat out 0.2 seconds now. You know what I mean? I'm serious. So you can get whatever information you need literally in a matter of an instance. So again, I can do all things through Christ, which gives me strength, right? So we've learned in this segment right now, right, about what it means to get strength from God, because the reality is this strength of my body runs out. it's not going to be enough time in the day. It's not going to be enough energy in my body. It's not going to be enough of anything. But allowing for me to draw strength from God employs me to be able to press through when I'm tired. It gives me inspiration, literally, to continue pressing on. Now, I always tell people, because I'm often asked, are you a motivational speaker? No disrespect to the motivational speakers out there. But the difference between me and that person is the motivation, which really does work, but it stirs you up and it gets you pumped up and you ready, like we getting ready to box, right? You get all super amped up. But something needs to happen on your insides to keep you in the fight. And that's what I love about inspiration, is I have an opportunity to not only amp you up and make you feel good, but to get something stirring around on your insides that says, I may need to go Google something. See, motivation gets you to the computer. Inspiration gets you typing something in, and then even gets you working out that plan as you've also, with the information that you have found. So I believe that we all have an opportunity to receive information. We can get it from the computers. We can get it from books. We can get it from our mentors. We get it from our friends. We can get it from our bosses and various other people in our life. Our parents are included. But I believe that information, when it meets with your will, which is your willingness, transitions into revelation. And when it transitions into revelation, what happens is there's a reveal that takes place, meaning there's something that goes a little bit deeper than you just receiving the information and become educating on the subject. You get to revelation about how this thing can really become yours, how you really can be able to do it, how you can bring life to it, how this is no longer just a dream anymore, but this is about to be a reality, because it's about to go up, because we don't do down, you know what I'm saying? And even though down is definitely what is said, we know that there's literally and truthfully only up from here. So I want to always inspire you. I want to make sure that the words that I'm speaking bring life to the places where there was uncertainty or where there was insecurity. I want to speak to the place where you weren't confident. I want to speak to the place where you began to question, like, am I capable? Is this something I can do? Because I was you. I was the you sitting right there listening to me and listening to someone else tell me how great I was, but yet and still that was information that hadn't transferred into revelation in order for me to be able to do what I'm doing. Somebody said, Aqueela? I said, huh? And they said, you have the ability to speak life into people. You have the ability to literally change the lives of the people that you meet. And I'm thinking, what? That sounded so amazing, but it wasn't something it wasn't information that I owned, which is also what we consider the revelation. I didn't own that. No, of course I didn't. As I'm pecking away on my computer in corporate America. No knocks against corporate America. I love my job. So it wasn't something that I was dreading to do every day either. But what I did begin to realize is I was burying my gift. I was now making this something that, because listen, we all have talents and gifts, and people say, well, yeah, but I don't use that one, so maybe it shouldn't count. No, it does. It's just inactive at the moment, but it's still purposed. So I decided, well, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't decide, but I was regurgitating over and over that information about how great I was at speaking. And it began to literally, it was inspiring to me. And I began to listen to it, and somebody said, you have the gift of gab. You should do that for a business. And I was like, that's funny. Because I clearly still, again, didn't own that information. And as I began to, like I said, marinate on that, and it started to literally inspire something in me to say, you know what, Aqueela, if you really believe in yourself, if you truly do, there should be evidence behind what you believe. And that's the reason why I am the proud owner now of Belief LLC. Believing that if we truly believe in whatever it is that we're doing, there should be evidence behind it. Somebody should be able to say and attest to, you know what, she says she believes that car is the best car. How do we know? She drives it, right? Something simple as that. I believe that's a great store to shop at. Have you been there? No. Well, I don't know if I believe you. Right? There should be some evidence as a result of our beliefs. And so here I am aspiring other people to make their beliefs a reality by having evidence to attest to that. And I began to take that information, and I had a will now that accompanied that information, and it became a revelation for me to do something about it. And I started a business. And therefore, I can do all things through Christ. I learned that when I'm telling you, the building of this business wasn't easy, right? There were some people who were like, how are you going to eat? I was like, I know, right? There were some people like, Aqueela, am I going to have to house you and your children? And I was like, hey, that's not the most positive thing you can say. I understood, though, here's the reality. I understood they were just concerned for my well-being. I didn't count everybody as a hater. Why? Because even the people who care about me may not be able to see the way I see, and I was okay with that. I understood this place that I'm in of really grabbing a hold of that revelation that I can do all things through Christ, because I'm dipping from a strength that is not my own. I'm pulling from this place that is unlimited, never runs dry. It's an infinity, right? It has no start, it has no end. It just keeps flowing. So my hope, right, is that through all of this, that you also will be able to grab a hold of your purpose. And here's the thing with purpose, right? Super stoked about purpose. Why? Because it's so many things. Purpose is not just one thing here. It's, I often get the question, because basically I'm an inspirationalist by way of life coaching. So we walk this out, we flesh this out one session at a time. Well, one meeting within 6 sessions. 6 sessions is all we need to be able to chop it up and deal with one goal at a time. I like to be very intentional. So I don't even want to invite my clients to come to me with 4 and 5 things they want to work on. Now, there's a possibility it happens that we indirectly approach and remedy those other things. But I want us to be intentionally and focused about one set goal. We flesh that out through 6 meetings. Bam, bada bang, bada boom. You'd have to see the reviews of my customers or my clients and be able to see the results and how that's impacted them, and being able to have someone inspire them to continue to grow and succeed. But what happens is that in purpose, right? We tend to associate purpose with this one masterminded thing. We have this vision of this one set thing I came to this world to do. Well, me personally, I am a believer, and I ask people if it's okay that I invite my belief, or at least my perspective of my belief, into our sessions, because sometimes if nothing else, it provides a different perspective. You don't have to buy into my belief, but it's definitely mine, and it's what employs me to be able to do what I do. So let me share this with you. My perspective of Jesus, right? Jesus was the homie, okay? He was sent down into the earth to help you and I out. And basically what happened was we was jacking our lives up. We didn't understand grace and mercy. And what was so interesting about us jacking up our lives, we were jacking up the lives of others. Every difficult situation that we're encountering, we're questioning our abilities, and Lord, am I worthy, or why is this happening to me? And we were constantly over here wrecking the lives of other people because we were hurting. We were confused, we was uncertain, we didn't know what to do with ourselves. That you know what that looks like, right? So, because we see it all across the world today, where people are either committing suicide or hurting other people through, shooting up schools or whatever. When we don't know what to do with ourselves, we are not obviously going to be in a position to properly handle others. So this is what's happening. The Lord was like, listen, son, it's time for you to step out on the scene. He sent him in through the womb of a woman, and that way, now he comes and enters the earth just like you and I, but he was a superhuman. So he comes in, and he had a purpose. His purpose was to save the world. But what did that look like when you break that down? Purpose wasn't just him saving the world. No, that's not what it was. It actually consisted of him doing a variety of things. There was people hungry. It included him feeding them. There were some people who needed baptizing. He helped out there. Feet washing, right? It was a very humble position. Nobody really want to touch feet. I get it. But it was actually a very humble position. How low can you go if you're already on the floor, right? So he washed the feet of his disciples. He was restoring sight to the blind. He was a doctor. Okay. He was turning water into wine, ball out bartender. You understand what I'm saying? Jesus had it going on. He was doing this vast things just all out across the board as far as to a career or jobs or gigs or whatever. All of it was still connected to purpose of saving the world. So I have to do all of these small things to make up this one thing? Yes. See, that also employs you to understand that everything you do is purpose right now. I don't have to wait until I get in my major purpose. I still have purpose when I'm at the grocery store. Maybe I let an elderly lady get in front of me because she's holding all her items, because y'all know what it's like going to Walmart. I went in there for one thing. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm holding up 50 things in my arm because I convinced myself that if I don't get a basket, I'm not going to get a lot of things. I lied to myself. Father, forgive me, for I knew not what I was doing. But anywho, so I turned around and I see this lady, and she's got several items, maybe a little bit elderly, even if she was younger than me. But what I did was I had an opportunity to allow light to go before me and say, listen, you're holding things in your arm. Why don't you go ahead of me? What? Are you sure? Yeah. By the way, girl, love those shoes. Now, what I've just done in that moment is I inspired somebody else to, for one, recognize that nice people still do exist in this world. And for two, for them to see the light of love. Love says that I love you regardless of how long I've known you. It doesn't even matter, because I do personally believe in Jesus. You believe in love at first sight. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. That does not mean love them after you get to know them and spend time with them and have dinner and then start inviting them over to your home. It means right now today, I can be patient, kind. I can suffer a little bit with you, because I suffered maybe standing in line because maybe I had somewhere to go. That's a little bit of suffering. And then I can forgive. Maybe a person steps on your foot and you excuse them, right? Because love does that. And here's the best part. It doesn't even expect anything back in return. Yeah, see, that's how Jesus rolled. When he came down here, he did the same thing. He was healing sight, giving sight to the blind, healing the lame and everything, helping people walk, even raising people from the dead. And I believe he was doing that literally and figuratively, because there are some people who didn't even realize that their life that they were living were dead. Ooh, pick me, because that's where I come in. I also enjoy being able to speak to those places that are dead, that should have life. But also, just like with Jesus too, things that were not producing, he actually cursed and stopped them from continuing to grow in an unhealthy way. Y'all don't know? Well, you have to look up what happened to that fig tree that wasn't producing fruit. So, I just wanted to share with you, and I know that was probably a lot of information given in one time of us speaking, but that's truthfully what it looks like when you're inspired. There are so many nuggets that you can pull out of a session, rather even just if it's individually with me or by a call. There's also just in life in general, there's so many perspectives that you can pull from your circumstances. It doesn't matter what it looks like, right? So sometimes you get in a car accident and you're thinking, oh my gosh, why did this happen to me? But I want you to begin to start looking for the nuggets in all of your struggles. Begin to recognize that there's a moment of purpose in everything that it is that you encounter, so that you can now recognize, listen, because the Lord has given me strength to continue to press on, and I can do everything and anything that I set my mind to, that if I set my mind right here in the midst of what looks like an accident and a horrible situation, I can pull something valuable out of this. I can also have the strength to not be so angry at the person that just, I was involved with in the accident with, and I can actually sincerely say, are you okay? What happened? Do you need help with anything, right? Or if there's a scenario where, you're at your job and a coworker is working your nerves, I know about that, right? You can still be patient with them and try to get to the root of the issue, because maybe that person literally woke up on the wrong side of bed, where they're not having the best day. And as a result of them not knowing how to pull nuggets from everything that they've dealt with, they're really and truthfully just continuing to pass on their ignorance. And I mean that in a good way, because hopefully you learned something today about inspiring, as well as the power in knowing that we draw strength from this never-ending river, right? So now with your information, I pray that it turns into revelation for you, that you would go and be employed to inspire others to tap into their strength that never ends, to also be able to know that they can do all things. And now we've become infectious. We're infecting the world one person at a time to live their best life now. Who knew? I'm super excited. Super duper excited for your life. I really am. Super excited. And I'm excited because I believe that as we continue to walk this life together, We both are learning and growing. Because honest and truthfully, it doesn't make me any more qualified than you to do what I'm doing. The difference is I'm a student that just likes to share the information that I've learned. I'm a permanent student too, so I'll forever sit in a seat where I want to be able to grab nuggets from everything that I've encountered in my life. This is Aqueela. You already know it, the inspirationalist, right, on Inspiration Nation. And I am a proud sponsor of Club Light Radio. Woo! Yeah, so as always, definitely tune in and check us out next time. I look forward to hearing from you there. You can check us out on www.clublightradio.com. You can also download the app. You know, nobody's really going online these days. So definitely download the app. And as always, I look forward to seeing you on the other side of happy.
That's the confidence I got, 'cause it got me. That's why I really feel like you can't stop me. Ooh, that's all you got. Come on with it. That's all you got. You can't stop me. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not an option. I'm my biggest problem. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not an option. You can't stop me. If I cannot stop me, then you'll never stop me. Oh no, can't stop. Oh no, won't stop. I said if I cannot stop me, then you'll never stop me.